My prime concern is to safeguard Gibraltar and its people. By doing that, I safeguard the identity of Gibraltar. We have little stock. It's not as though we have a lot of stock. By stock, I mean houses. And if we get everybody coming in now and claiming that they want to go onto the housing waiting list, well, then I'm worried about the identity of the Gibraltarian being lost. So the main change for me has been that you now have to reside in Gibraltar for 15 years before you can apply to housing.
For those, for example, someone that's been here 9 years and was going to be able to apply 10 years, are they still subject to those, or is it people who are applying from the start or people who are midway through their application?
No. 15 years means 15 years for everybody. So if you did 5 years or you've done 9, you still have so many more to do until you get to 15 so that you can then apply to housing. Now, if you're a Gibraltarian, it will also apply to you because we have to be fair here. But it's easier for the Gibraltarian because they've been here all their lives. The majority of them that come in for housing have been here always. And even if you go away to study and you decide you're going to stay there because you got a job there, but then after 10 years you decide you want to come back to Gib, you've already done your 15 years in Gibraltar. So what you have to do is come back and do 1 whole year permanently residing in Gibraltar before you can apply. We have to be very careful how we do use up this stock. And like I said, I want to push it as much as I can. I was able to get 15 years for us, and I thought that was well and good, 15 years.
Would you have wanted more?
Yes. Yes. Because like I said, I want to protect the Gibraltarian. I want the houses. I want Gibraltar to remain Gibraltarian. And therefore, what I am doing is safeguarding housing for the Gibraltarian.
Something that's been made a lot of in recent years and over time is that there's a lack of transparency with the housing point system, that people aren't sure where they are or why people are overtaking them in the list. What changes are being made there?
The changes that are being made there is that it's going to be a lot easier to check where exactly you are on that list. An example, you get points for overcrowding. You get a lot of points for overcrowding. You could rent a house, a 1-roomed house, and put in 5 people in there. And then you say, look, we can't live like this. We've got 5 people living in the house. This is in Canada. And you start getting points. And those points may put you over people who may have living in very bad conditions because the damp is really bad and the baby is forever ill and sick. We have to ensure that that also figures in the pointage system.
So is that something that you found was happening? Perhaps people making their situation appear worse than it would be in order to get points?
I find that there are a lot of people waiting on the waiting list for a long time, for many years. And then you can see that other people who've been less than yourself get a house. So I want people who've been on the waiting list to acquire points, real points that will show up how long you've been there, and then not just overcrowding, but damp, kitchen, bathroom, etc. I want the points to reflect a real scenario. It is going to be a lot more visible for us to immediately see where the points are, where are we failing this person, why, and all this jumping over, because people know the loopholes, trust me. They know the loopholes. I'm being very honest here. People know the way that they can get extra points, and they do it. And this is what we want to stop. We want to stop the unfairness. I'm trying to be as fair as I can.